The Kia Soul, it's an undeniable rock star in its category and a big seller. Now they've got an electric version. Are they able to take something that is of special essence from the Soul and make it a great and different EV? Or is it a lookalike car with a big battery? Let's drive this 15 Soul electric and check the tech. Now, a Soul EV looks just like any other Soul. The body is the same. Spot one of these guys by the unusual grille where the charging door lives, these aerodynamic alloy wheels, some badges on the side, and obviously no tailpipes. The battery basically lays flat along the floor but kicks up toward the rear, and therefore the rear seats do lose 3 inches of legroom. Now, a Soul EV is $34,500 with destination. There are no tech options, so that's the price CNET style, but take off $10 if you roll in federal and California tax credits at least for $24,500. Let's see what you get. Now, inside the Soul, it's like just about every other Soul with some differences in the instrumentation. Let's start on the left there. You've obviously got your traditional gauge that shows whether you're using power or regenerating it. There's your battery level and your projected range. And on the right, a digital speedo with some bizarre band around it that shows you what speeds apparently are more efficient on battery usage, though I find it hard to believe that 50 and 90 are equally efficient as it suggests. In the main head unit with the 8-inch screen, you get navigation is standard on this car, also Bluetooth streaming, all the major sources, rear camera. Under the UVO button, their telematics system, you've gotten beyond just sort of the OnStar competitor. Now you can add in some meaningful apps like Yelp, SoundHound, and iHeartRadio. We've seen most of this before. What I want to go to is this button here, the EV screen. Here's where you really get some difference on the Soul EV, obviously. You got your range indicator here, which can also give you a graphical map, kind of sack bomber style. Or pull up a list of nearby charging stations. You can also see these on a map, though not from this screen. And a screen to show you what systems are using juice. The Drive obviously uses the most of it. You can also see what climate and other electronics are sapping from your all-important range. Eco driving lets you play a silly game like turn that tree all blue-green because you drive efficiently. You'll do that for about a week and then you'll get bored with it. Here's where you can program your charging times, tell the car to charge automatically at certain times, and also set up its preconditioning of the interior cabin. And a setting here for EV route. That means when you program a place on the navigation system, it's going to indicate whether you're going to have a problem getting there on your current charge, and then, of course, guide you to charging stations along the way if need be. Now, to drive this guy, you've got a traditional-looking transmission selector, but of course no transmission. Neutral, park, reverse, drive, and B is your high regen mode. Below that is an eco button. So here's how it works. Standard drive is kind of your most power and your least regen. Putting it into eco mode tapers back the power and increases the regen drag a little bit. You're a little more efficient. And then putting it in B and eco gets you the least acceleration forward and the highest regen when you decelerate. Now, powering the Soul EV is, of course, an electric motor. Backed up by a 27 kilowatt battery pack. That's near the top of the industry in the measurement of watt-hours per pound. It's very dense. Horsepower is a measly 109, but torque's what you care about at 210 pound-feet. Front-wheel drive only. 0 to 60 is lazy on paper, 11.2, but we'll check it on the road. You get 93 miles of EPA-rated range. That may be the best out there, short of a Tesla Model S. And this one costs a lot less. Your MPG-E rating is 120. Charging's done up here behind this door. 2 outlets. The one on the left gets you household current at 120 volts. To use that, you want to remake the longest day, because that's 24 hours. If you put a 240 outlet in there, you're going to get done in 4 to 5 hours. And the one on the right is a high current charger, 480 volts. If you can find one of those stations, you're looking at 33 minutes to get an 80% charge. Now, a Soul EV weighs about 500 pounds more than a standard Soul, give or take. That's like throwing out 3 passengers. That's a lot. So it has that very planted, very sort of heavy-footed electric car ride, but it's got that great torque. It feels much quicker than that 11 some odd seconds we saw on paper. Very quiet inside, with one problem. There's this piercing, like 8 kilohertz whine almost all the time. You especially notice it if you crack the windows. That's like a deal breaker for me. It's really audible, I think. An interesting carryover from the standard Soul is this steering wheel mode button here on the wheel for comfort, normal, or sport feel, which is going to give you a difference in weight and assist. You particularly feel it at higher speeds. I'm just poking around the city right now and it's imperceptibly different, but it's a nice coupling to go with your drive modes. The Kia Soul is available only in a few states, so for the most part, it's somewhere between a compliance car and a side bet. It doesn't break a lot of ground, but does have the best range anywhere near its price class and one of those high-level super-fast chargers. But perhaps more importantly, it doesn't lose its soulness as it sheds its engine.